Midterms are coming up Tuesday, November 7th, and it's important if you're in Pennsylvania to get out and vote for Dr. Oz. Now, every candidate that gets elected in the primaries isn't agreed upon by everyone who's in that party. But I'm going to tell you why, despite if you have differences with Dr. Oz, why you need to get out there and vote for him. His opponent, John Fetterman, is part of this disastrous Tom Wolf administration. As lieutenant governor, Fetterman has presided over lockdowns that occurred in this state. He presided over the forcing of nursing homes to accept COVID patients, while members of the Wolf administration, including Health Secretary Levine, removed her mother from a long-term care facility. So while your parents were struggling with COVID in nursing homes, they were removing their parents. And make no mistake about it, Lieutenant Governor John Fetterman was part of that. Well, you were told that you needed to lock down, that you were non-essential, and the Wolf administration actually called you a coward if you wanted to go to work and threatened to take away your license to work. What was the Wolf administration doing? Well, they were out violating their own orders, marching with Black Lives Matter. That's what John Fetterman represents. He has been a disaster and part of this horrible administration in Pennsylvania. They said there's two Pennsylvanias, one for white people and one for black people. They called you Pennsylvanians racist. That's what they did. That's what Fetterman represents. The economic downturn that we've seen in this state because of their disastrous war on energy, their disastrous lockdowns, has been horrible for the people of this state. The amount of crime that's surging in places like Philadelphia and Pittsburgh is staggering. Part of the Fetterman-Wolf administration, and make no mistake about it, Fetterman would be even worse and has called for the releasing of even more violent criminals. That's who John Fetterman is. And sadly, Fetterman has suffered a stroke, which makes him medically unfit to have the office. It's just too much. He is radical. He would continue the war on energy. He would continue the war on your children from locking them down. He would continue the war on your family by making fun of you and saying that you need to sacrifice more economically. You need to sacrifice more when it comes to things like lockdowns, while he and his liberal elite people aren't held to the same standards that they ask you. He'll make crime worse. That's who John Fetterman is. Dr. Oz would be someone that would stand in the way of all of these disastrous policies. Not to mention, a Democrat-controlled Senate will do all they can to end the filibuster and enshrine Democratic rule and the disastrous Biden administration policies that have been so devastating for this country for even longer. It could be decades until we repair the damage they do. So get out there this Tuesday and vote for Dr. Oz. A vote for Dr. Oz is a vote against John Fetterman from the disastrous lockdown policies, from the disastrous crime policies, from the disastrous inflation policies. Get out there Tuesday, vote for Dr. Oz.